today's class. Welcome to today's session, Manuel. And here we have natural disasters, describing natural disasters and preparing for them. Tell me, Manuel, where are you from?
I'm from state of Mexico.
Mexico City, great.
No, state of Mexico.
I bet you?
Yes, Toluca City, you know?
Yeah, that's
State
it.
of Mexico.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot it. Yes, thank you very much. And tell me, Manuel, what do you know about natural disasters?
Well, I know that, for example, I know one of them. For example, earthquake, flood, fire could be.
Here, yes, we are. And so, tell me, Manuel, have you personally faced any natural disaster?
Well, not really. Maybe the earthquakes. Is the latest earthquakes. I think this is the only one. Maybe flood, and that's it. I think.
Hey, that's terrible. So, yeah. Could you tell me any experience that you had?
Well, I work in a place called in San Mateo Atenco. You know it?
Yes.
It's very common, the floods over in that place. When there is a storm, there is a flood over there in San Mateo Atenco. This is a problem because the students can out of the school when there is a flood, or their houses. Some one of them lose everything in a flood. Well, this is my experience.
Jesus Christ, I didn't thought that it could be something like that. But yes, sometimes the natural characteristics of some places are in favor of some of these situations.
Yeah.
And tell me, whenever you have faced those situations, what have you done?
Well, the people say that we must to keep calm, but I think it's so difficult to do it because maybe you try to save your life and the lives of the people that are next to you. For example, as a teacher, for example, I need to think and talk about my students. I think this is the way that I can do when I face a disaster, a natural disaster.
Yes, you're right. Sometimes it is very difficult. Some people used to say, "Stay calm, don't worry, everything is okay." But how to do it?
Yeah, it's so difficult.
Whenever you see people suffering, or whenever you see the danger around you, of course, it's difficult. All right. Yes. Okay. So let's go to another slide. Here we are. Do you know what? We cannot stop natural disasters, but we can arm ourselves with knowledge. So many lives wouldn't have to be lost if there was enough disaster preparedness. This was said by Petra Nemkova. So what do you think about this?
Well, I think it's so clear. Obviously, we cannot stop the natural disaster, but if we have an information, we can maybe do the best things in a disaster. I think the information is the most important in this kind of events.
Yes, that's it. You know what? You were talking about that, and I have some information about it. Look at this. This is natural disasters preparedness. Okay, so whenever a natural disaster happens, the final part, what we need is mitigation for pain. But for having that mitigation of our pain, we need most of everything to have public information and warning. Whenever we have that public information and warning here, we can have long-term vulnerability reduction because we know what's going to happen. We know what are the consequences, what is the risk that we are facing.
How to face them, how to face it.
That's it. So whenever we know what's going to happen and how it could be, we have operational coordination because we are going to be together in the solution of those problems that are gonna be caused by natural disasters. For that, we need planning. We need to plan what to do, how much we need, how many people is involved in everything. So everything about it, what's the plan? For making a good plan, we need to have threats and hazard identification. Whenever we identify what are the risks that we can have, then we can go to risk and disaster resilience assessment. We need to evaluate how we are going to survive. Whenever we do it by ourselves individually, we can also go to community resilience. Everybody together, we are going to have a plan. We are going to have even budgets to survive everybody together. And this feeling of being in community helps for pain mitigation. So this will help us not only to be safe, but also to feel better, to feel psychologically prepared, and to be also psychologically resilient. Okay, so tell me, do you consider that we have worked enough for having this mitigation of pain?
Excuse me, I can understand. I didn't understand the question.
So do you think that we have worked enough for having that pain mitigation?
Well, for these words, I think that all of them are important, but I think the most important is planning. We must know what can we do before, during, and after a disaster, I think so. But, well, there is a word that I don't understand. Resilience, what does it mean?
Resilience means that we are going to stand. We are not going to die. We are going to wait for something that happens for a long time or a short time. We don't know. That term comes from ships whenever they are going to drown, whenever they are resisting on the water before going into the sea. That's resilience, to be floating before the disaster. That's resilience.
Okay. Is a psychology term?
Yes, that's a psychological term.
Okay.
And you know what? Somebody told me that the most resilient people are children. Sometimes we think, oh, poor children, they are not able to do many things. It is not possible for children. you know what? They are the most resilient people.
Yeah.
Because they don't see just the problem.
Or the danger. I think they don't know the danger.
Yeah, that's it. And even they trust in their parents. They trust in adults.
Yeah.
And they know that they are going to be helped by anyone.
Yeah.
So they feel comfortable sometimes, and they feel trusty.
Yeah.
That makes them be resilient.
Okay.
Okay, so tell me, let's suppose that you are part of a group. You are organizing, a group in order to have a plan. Let's suppose that you are working maybe in Protección Civil, and
Okay.
you have to do something because you know that you are living in a very risky, very vulnerable place, and you have to create a program for all the community to be okay, to be prepared. What would you do?
Okay, first of all, I think that I want to say it again. The most important is the information to try to hold all the people with information. Maybe use TV or radio to say to people what can they do in a disaster. Prepare the people about what can they do during, after, before a disaster. Where can they go, for example, and what can they do? What kind of things that or actions they can do if they are in their houses or in a public place. I think so.
It could be a very good idea. So what about, I don't know, courses? Some courses
it could be
at schools for children. You know what? I'm going to share with you an experience I had. Once upon a time, I was traveling by subway with my son.
Okay.
Everything was normal. Everything was as usual. But guess what? Suddenly, we saw a young man who was very difficultly walking. He was moving from one place to another, and he seemed to be very tired. And suddenly, he fainted. And so all of the people began to be around him because they thought that he was drunkard. They said, está borracho. So nobody tried to help him because he was a young boy. They said, chamaco. But suddenly my son was running. He was in high school that time. And he was running, and he said, Mommy, look for help. Go running and take a policeman or anybody to help. So I did. And whenever I came back, I saw my son. He was helping the boy, and he was putting his legs up, and he had already put his backpack under his head, and he was giving massage to the boy with his legs back and front. And suddenly the boy woke up, and he began breathing normally, but he was really pale, white, transparent. And so suddenly he woke up, and he said, thank you very much. I feel much better. I am diabetic.
Okay.
And so the policeman came, and they took the boy to the station so that he could have medical assistance.
Yeah.
But for me, it was surprising because I didn't know what to do. But my son had already had a class by Protección Civil and first aids. And so he said, Mommy, yesterday I received this class. And so today I had the opportunity for putting it in practice. And I said, wow. So,
Okay.
and he said, now I am very happy because I know that my classes are useful for me.
Useful, yeah.
So
Very useful because he saved his life of a person that he didn't know.
yeah, that's it. And I didn't receive any class about first aid in any school. And so I didn't know what to do, and I am an elderly people. Well, I am not so old, but I am not in secondary school. And so I think it is necessary also because, for example, in this case, it was not a natural disaster, but anyway, it was a natural disease for this boy.
Yes. I think, for example, you're talking of something important. I'm a teacher, and I never have received a course like this. I don't know what can I do if one of my students are in danger, and I think it's so scare me because I don't know what can I do if one of my students has a problem, for example, just like this.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, we must be prepared for one, not only by the natural disaster,
but also for diseases or sicknesses.
Sicknesses.
We had also, time ago, in a preparatory school, a high school where I was working, we had a girl whose disease was schizophrenia.
Too difficult.
Yeah, it was really difficult. You know what? One day, I remember that we were at class, and suddenly the girl began to turn around here and turn around. Suddenly, she stood up and went running out of the school. And we were running behind her, but nobody could got her, so she escaped. And we called her mother. All of the teachers were running behind the girl. Some of the students were helping also to look for her, but she disappeared. So we called her mother and we told her what happened. And she said, oh no, not a second time. So it was not the first time that happened to her.
Really?
Three days after, the girl was found some kilometers ahead, but she was completely naked. And she didn't know who she was. She was taken home again. And the director of the preparatory school says, you know what? Okay, we have to accept her here at school, but we can't take those risks because we don't know what to do. We didn't even know that she suffered from schizophrenia. And so a second stage happened later. They were in the mathematics class. Suddenly, she was taking the scores for her exercise, and she was next to the teacher. And she had a pencil on her head. Suddenly, she literally jumped on the teacher and put the pencil on his neck. She was going to kill the teacher with a pencil. Suddenly, some of the teachers who were passing by saw her and went running to help the teacher.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ.
It's so difficult. What can we do in this case?
It was really difficult because we didn't have preparedness.
Yeah.
She said, whenever we asked her, why did you do it? She said, because they told me to do it. They? Who? The people, the voices.
Wow.
No,
It's
no.
just like a scare movie.
Yeah, that was
Wow.
it. And so, Jesus, we were not prepared.
Yeah.
So I think that's something else about preparedness for teachers.
Yes. I think it's important. What can we do in this case? I can't imagine. What can I do if I have a case of this? I don't know.
Yeah, and even we didn't know how we could fix it, but wow, it was an experience. It really was.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
well, you know what? I remembered also I was working in an elementary school. It was a public elementary school. But you know what? Here the problem was that in that school, the director didn't have the possibility of refusing some children to be registered to school
Yeah.
because of the education laws and
Yeah.
regulations and
Yeah.
stuff. So in the first grade, with 40 students, a group of 40 students, the teacher had a boy who was suffering from syndrome de Moebius.
What is it?
Oh my goodness, it is a terrible condition for children. Whenever they are born, their muscles in their neck and in their shoulders are not they are not grown up, they are not well developed, and so
Mhm.
they can't move their faces. So that sickness, that syndrome is known as mask face
Yeah.
because children can't move their faces, so they don't have any expression. They don't smile, they don't cry, and even they don't blink.
Well,
So it is necessary for them to be putting some drops for lubricating their eyes because they
yeah.
don't blink, they don't speak, and so all of the children around them tend to be afraid of these children because they don't move. They have not face, they have a mask.
Yeah.
And so it was very difficult because whenever this boy tried to say what happened, that he needed to go to the bathroom or that he was angry and that he was hungry or that he was tired, he couldn't do it. So he was violent, he was aggressive.
Okay.
And so they said that it was not necessary for the boy to have some knowledgement. Here, the most important for the boy was to socialize, to learn how to communicate with the others, how to be together in a group, but it was tremendously difficult.
Yeah. Many years ago, there was a special education for that people,
Mm-hmm.
but nowadays the government said that all of them must be in a normal class.
Yeah, that's
But
it. And they said because they need to have the same opportunities.
yeah, but well, the teacher we are not prepared to give them the give them the best opportunities for these people
And
because we
yes,
don't know what can we do, how can we trade them.
yeah, and even we don't know how to give them the best attention
Yeah,
because we have 40 more students, so we can't have pay attention just to one.
yeah,
They say teachers are complaining about everything, and teachers are very
Yeah.
stubborn. Teachers are very lazy.
Almost all the society thought that, but I think that the people that say this, they don't know the real, um, they don't know the real. I don't know how can I say the environment of the schools.
Yes, that's it. But you know what? I also consider that people repeat any stupid phrase they listen to. So they
Yeah.
don't investigate, they don't
Yeah.
know anything, but they just repeat. And if on television somebody said this, then they take it for granted. They say,
Yeah.
yes, teachers are lazy. Gosh, I
Yeah.
would, yeah, I would like to see them 5 minutes in front of me.
In front of a group, I think when I have the opportunity to talk with a person that maybe are lawyers or doctors, and they say something like this, well, I bet them,
Yeah,
well, come with me and sit in front of my group only one lesson,
yeah,
and if you finished it, and you say yes, you are lazy, maybe I'm gonna give you something, but I think it's only to stay in front of a teenagers group is so difficult.
so difficult, tremendously difficult.
Yeah,
And even it is not just necessary to control them, but also to help them learn and to understand that they need to be educated.
yeah,
Mm,
yes,
I think that it is the most difficult part to make them understand that it is for them and it is necessary just for them.
yes, because we don't stay in front of a group only to hold them quiet.
Mm,
We must to teach them something, and well, this is the most difficult. How can I teach to a teenager, for example, that he or she doesn't want to know anything?
that's it.
So I think it's so difficult.
But you know what also? Mm, it is necessary also for them to feel happy at school and to feel that teachers are their friends. So
Yeah.
it is okay, we could do it. But anyway, we can also make them feel that everything we need them to do is necessary, not for us, it's for them.
Yeah.
So it is very difficult to be friends and to ask them to do something.
Yes, as a teacher, we forget that we are working with a humans being. We start the class with a robot, and we never or we forget that the people that is in front of us are humans. Maybe, yeah,
That's it. You know something? I remember that time ago when I was in secondary school. I had a teacher, a natural science teacher. He was terrible. He was cruel.
yeah,
He was a bad person. All of us were scared of that teacher because he was so serious.
yeah,
But by the time we discovered that he was not only serious, but also wise. And he was not only terrible, but also that he was trying to give us education.
yeah,
And he used to ask everybody to be standing up whenever he was coming in. And they say, hey, stand up for 1 week. because I entered to the classroom and you didn't stand up. You have to be educated. You have to be polite. And we said, come on, teacher. We are not babies. And so it is in the past. And
Yeah.
he used to say, education is not a question of the past. Education is my responsibility. And if you are not going to do it, get out of school.
Okay.
Gosh. And he used to say, you didn't do the homework. Come on, teacher. I didn't have time. Okay, give me your notebook. You are going to write 1,500 times. 1,500.
Wow.
I have to do the natural science homework in the class of the teacher Samuel Leonardo Florencio. I remember because I did it.
Yeah.
And I learned to do the homework all of the time. And you know, the first months were hell. We really felt dying. But whenever we got used to that, we realized that the teacher was a very good person. And even as we were doing most of the things that he wanted us to do, then he began to give us prizes. He said, all right, you know what? Today we are not going to work about theory. Let's go to the laboratory. Lab! So we used to go to the lab and we used to do some experiments. For example, I remember that we learned how to do Bengal lights, uses the Bengala.
Okay.
So it was so interesting and so nice. We learned also how to do ink and how to do soap, how to do also toothpaste.
Okay.
So it was really nice. It was interesting. And whenever we finished with the program, he said, all right, we are going to go to the video classroom. And we said, he's going to play any video from Ilse, because in that time, Ilse was the supplier of all of those videos. And we said, a video of Ilse. And no, whenever we were in, he used to work with us about some movie pictures. For example, we saw the first movie picture of Superman.
Okay.
And whenever the director of the school came, he said, the director, what's the objective for the movie picture? And we began to shout, it's gravity theory, gravity law.
Yeah.
So we began to invent things. And yes, the director came and he said, teacher, good morning. And everyone silent. What are you doing? We are watching a movie picture, a commercial movie picture. And everybody, yes, but it is because we are learning about anything, no?
Yeah.
It was so fun. It was so nice. So I think that he was one of the teachers that were really inspiring for me.
Yeah.
Mijo, llévatelo.
Yeah. And maybe we are going to remember all of our lives these kind of teachers.
Yes, I think so. Eli, welcome, Eli. How are you?
Hello. I'm sorry, I just got home.
Don't worry. We are here just having a nice chat. We are talking about teachers.
Okay, very good. How are you?
We are fine, thank you. What about you?
Fine. A little bit tired, but I'm fine.
It's okay, don't worry. All right, Ellie. Well,
Yes.
today's focus was about natural disasters preparedness. We are talking about teachers because the talk was conducting us to talk about that. But
Yes.
what do you think about natural disasters?
What do I think? Oh my God. Well, I don't know. I don't have any word to explain that.
Have you faced any natural disaster?
No, I have never, and I hope I will
let's
never
hope,
be in one.
yeah, let's hope so. All right. So, Manuel, please, could you explain to Ellie what about this schema?
Okay, well, we were talking about these schemes. We said that first of all we need public information, and then if we have public information, we are going to long-term vulnerability reduction, and then operational coordination. We said that most important is the planning. We must know what can we do in a case of a disaster.
Okay.
And if we have a good planning, we are going to threats and hazard identification. And the last is risk, disaster, and resilience assessment. We talk about what does it mean resilience. We say that how the people face the problem before a disaster, and how can they do the things before doing a disaster.
Okay.
All of this is going to lead us to the pain mitigation. They are going to suffer less if we are planning, if we are informed, if we have a plan about what to do. And well, I don't know, have you received information about natural disasters, Ellie?
Yes. Yes, of course.
What can you say about that?
Well, I can say that. Okay. Hello.
Yes, we listen to you.
Hello.
Hello, we listen to you. Hello? Hello, Ellie? We listen to you. Hello? Hello, Ellie? We listen to you. Hi.
Hello. Can
Yes.
you hear me?
Yes, we can listen to you.
I'm sorry, it's my internet. I don't know what happened.
It's okay.
Okay, so we were with information about disasters.
Yes, so what can you say about that information? What do you know about disasters?
Well, I think we all know the most basic things about any disaster, but we really don't know the risk only when we face it. Okay.
That's it.
So I think we all have the information that you don't have to run, you have to stay in I'm sorry, how do you say, un espacio abierto,
In an open space.
open space, yes. For example, in a I'm sorry, earthquake, you have to stay under the things like a desk or doors or something like that. But we don't know the real risk only when we face it. So I think that is the same that I told, but I told before.
Yes,
But
you're right.
we only know the basic things.
Yes, you're right. And you know what? I think also that what you said is really true. We don't
Yes.
know how we could react if we haven't already faced that situation.
Yes, you're right. It's I think that we don't know anything until we face to something. For example, a theft. When you are face to face with a burglar or something like that, or with a natural disaster, or any situation that you can imagine, we don't know how to react to that.
That's
So
it.
we can have a lot of information, and we can think that we are prepared for any situation like that, but we really don't.
Yeah,
That's my point of view. We really don't.
that's it. You're right. Okay, now you said that whenever we are in front of a burglar or something like that, I have already said, everyone, that
Yes.
if you are being robbed, don't say no. Give everything you have and don't put your life in risk.
Yes.
But you know what? Once upon a time, I was assaulted, I was robbed. And whenever they said, give me your backpack, I said, no. And later on, I said, why did you do it? What are you
Yes.
thinking about? So I didn't react as I told everyone to do it.
Exactly.
So yes, you're right. Sometimes we say that we know what to do, but that's not true. Still, the moment you face it.
No, we got shocked in that moment.
Yeah, that's it. You know what? I didn't give my backpack because in the backpack I had my computer, I have my speaker, and I had my Fortnite paid.
Yes.
So anyway, I should have given my bag. Later on, they hit me, and anyway, they took my bag out.
Oh my God.
But I could have avoided it if I would say yes, take everything. But I didn't react as I thought.
Yes, it's a risk, and I don't know. It's like a dilemma because
Yeah,
you don't know what is going to happen if you give the things or if you don't.
that's it. That's
Well,
it.
same
You're right.
happened to me one time.
What happened?
Yes, it was the same with a burglar. He pushed me and take away my cell phone and my handbag and my necklace, my watch, and a lot of my things.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, and I don't know how to react to that at that moment. I didn't know how to react. But after that, I don't know. I feel like I wake up after that. Um, oh, I forget. after that event, I don't know. My mind was in blank.
Jesus.
Yes, I don't know. A lot of thoughts were through in my mind. Oh, I'm gonna cry because it wasn't a long time ago. I think I'm telling you this. This happened maybe a month ago.
My goodness, it was very near in the past.
Yes, and we're living in a very difficult time right now with all the things that are happening.
Yeah.
And we have to be careful in any way.
Yes, I think that we don't have security now.
Yes, we don't.
All right, thank you very much, Ellie. Manuel, would you like to say anything to Ellie?
I'm listening to you. I think I don't know what can I say. We live in a dangerous society, but I think the most important is our lives. Maybe the material things we can't work and get them new, for example, but the most important is our lives, and you're alive, and I think this is the most important thing. Maybe your cell phone, your handbag, and all the things that bad people take, I think there is not important. The most important is your life. I think so.
I totally agree.
Me too.
Well, you know what? Let's do a final activity. Here we are. We are going to make agreements about this. Here we have the Natural Disasters Preparedness Backpack. That is something that we all should have. We all should prepare for facing a natural disaster. But I need you to be interacting, you both, so that you can get some agreements about what to take in that backpack. For example, here they have that small flashlight and extra batteries about that flashlight. The hand cleaner, I don't know. I need you to be talking with Manuel about that. And take agreements, what to take and what not to take.
Well, there are many things that we need. For example, the first aid kit, or the flashlight and the extra batteries. Well, could be a cell phone is important. The emergency phone numbers, I think there is not so important because we have it in a cell phone. Well, the antiseptic, I think there is not important because we have it in a first aid kit, I think so. And I think that's all. The small flashlight, extra batteries, first aid kit, and the cellular phone. I think it's the most important for me.
Okay, for me it's all of those things, and I think there are some things missing. For example, I would like to bring a knife with me. It sounds a little bit extreme, but I think that we need nowadays we need a knife or something to I'm sorry, I forgot it. To protect ourselves. I don't know. Manuel, is that your name, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, what do you think about that crazy idea that I have?
Well, if well, I think all of this is important, but if I think.
I would like to bring a bat to hit somebody if I need to do it.
Okay. Well, in that case, it's
no,
important.
yes, because in that case, for example, here we have all of these things for natural disasters, but I think that also that when you get robbed, we need to too many things for that. For example, all of these things, the first aid kit, the gauze pads, the band-aids, cold pack, and all that stuff. Yes, we need it because we don't know what is going to happen with us.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Okay, what is? Okay, I see the image a little bit blurred. It says tweezers or what?
Tweezers.
Yes, tweezers. Yes. Okay. What do we need tweezers? I don't know. What do you think?
Tweezers.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What is?
I don't see the picture so clearly.
Yeah.
But I think tweezers. Okay. What do we need it?
What is a twister? I can see it.
Pinza.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, as you say, we don't know where it's going to happen the disaster, and maybe we can use it. We need to fix something.
Yes.
Oh, I think so.
Okay. Well, I think that we need all of that stuff, and maybe a little bit more. But we were saying we don't know how to react to that situation until you are face to face with that or with dangerous things.
Yeah.
And we can have a lot of staffs, a big backpack, and still didn't have the right thing.
Yeah, because maybe someone of them say that we need a small backpack to maybe to so we can move in a disaster, because if we have a big backpack we can't move it, or I think.
Yes, I know, but I'm saying that even if we have that big backpack, we can have a missing thing that we're going to need in that moment.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it, teacher.
Hey, that was so sensible. And you know what? I really liked the way you had communication, because you exchanged your ideas and you took agreements about what to take and what not to take. You said also that it could be also sensible to put many things because of the weight of the bulky backpack. Yes. And if you are in the middle of a disaster, you are not going to take the cushion. But anyway, yeah, that's it. Hey, that was very sensible. I really like it. And so Manuel also said that it's okay, that there are some very necessary things. So I guess that in a moment when we have a disaster, of course we need mobility. But what could they be the most important things, like the first aid kit, or the gauze or the tweezers? But who knows? I guess that it is very important to have a cellular phone with credit.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
But anyway, all right. Thank you very much. It was really interesting. And so maybe, okay, it is a class where we are practicing conversation. Of course, I am not an expert about protección civil, but anyway, maybe this kind of talk makes everybody talk and think about what could it happen if a natural disaster comes and we don't have any preparedness, even the idea.
Yes, I'm totally agree.
All right, and you know what? Something that I loved about this class is that I listened to you interacting. That's very difficult to do, but you did it very fluently, and I really liked it. Well, I don't know if you want to say anything else, to ask anything.
Well,
All right.
I
Well,
don't have anything to say. I'm sorry.
it's okay. Well, thank you very much. See you next class. Your class is Manuel every Tuesday at
okay.
9 p.m. like today. And
Okay.
Ellie, what's your level?
I'm B1.
Oh, yes, you're right then. It is your level also.
Yes.
So meet you next class, next Tuesday at 9 p.m. and have a very good night.
Thank
Yes,
you.
too. And enjoy your week.
Oh, thank you very much. Likewise.
Thank you.
All right.
Goodbye,
Good
Manuel.
night.
Goodbye. Have a nice
Bye.
noon.
Good night.
All right. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.